Nigeria police force under the leadership of IGP Kayode Egbetoken has kept mum since reports indicated that the US-trained private intelligence officer, Harrison Gwamnishu, who was invited to facilitate the rescue of a married couple, husband and wife simply identified as Mr. and Mrs. Ibrahim, that was kidnapped since late November at their home in Avili community, a village near Auchi Polytechnic in the Etsiko West local government area of Edo State, has been arrested and remanded to prison by a court sitting in Benin City, the Edo State capital, over allegations that the private intelligence officer, Harrison Gwamnishu, underpaid the ransom money given to him to give to the kidnappers to rescue the married couple in captivity. The reports of Harrison Gwamnishu's arrest and subsequent remand to prison custody became widespread after a popular Nigeria social media activist, Vincent Martins Otse, in a video statement on Friday morning alleged that he has facilitated the arrest of the private intelligence officer, Harrison Gwamnishu, for allegedly removing 5.4 million naira from the total amount given to him by the victim's family to help pay as ransom to the kidnappers. This occurred after the sting operations Gwamnishu had prepared the ransom money for was probably aborted after a man, whose real names may be Oshio Rima Job Asgeme, leaked, revealed and exposed the planned sensitive security information online. According to the suspect who leaked out the sensitive security operational plans of Gwamnishu, Harrison Gwamnishu never told the family he was going to remove some money from the ransom, that the kidnappers said the money was not complete, hence only the wife was released, the man still held in captivity due to the incomplete ransom payment. The suspect, Oshio Rima Job Asgeme, in a video recorded statement stated that he was the one that helped facilitate the service of Harrison Gwamnishu when the family of the kidnapped victims requested for it. The action of the suspect may have prompted Harrison Gwamnishu to abort the sting operations, obviously for the safety of his personal life and the lives of Nigeria's soldiers and other security operatives he does use to execute and complete his sting operations against kidnappers, which often leads to the killing of the kidnappers and recovering of the total ransom paid. For the purpose of clarity, sting operations is a deceptive practice and undercover tactics used by journalist or intelligent officer or security operative to get closer to a suspected criminal or criminals in order to be more familiar with the criminals and the environment they operate, and the deceptive practice may include the journalist or intelligent officer or security operative pretending to give ransom money to kidnappers in a manner that can cause a delay in proper assessment of the environment before the security troops may launch offensive attack against the criminals. The action of Asgeme of leaking out sensitive security information may be of interest. Why Nigeria's soldiers and other security operatives are being killed in large numbers whenever in previous and recent years the Nigeria security troops are on rescue missions, including the recent mass killing of soldiers along with Brigadier General Uba Musa and civilian JTF members at Wajiroko village in Borno State by criminals. We are convinced that if Mr. Asgeme and the family of the kidnapped victim, Nigeria's prominent music icon, innocent Idibia a.k.a. Two-Face Idibia, has cried out for help after domestic violence he had with his new wife, Natasha, during social media live stream organized by Daddy Freeze on Monday over allegations and video evidence that surfaced online showing Two-Face Idibia being arrested with the two of his hands handcuffed at the back in London due to altercations he had with his new wife, Natasha. The act of domestic violence between the African Queen music crooner and his new wife has drawn the attention of the Edo State House of Assembly, and the House of Assembly on Tuesday summoned the wife, Natasha, who is also a member of Parliament in the Edo State House of Assembly, to appear before its disciplinary committee on ethics over what the State Assembly described as a behavior capable of embarrassing the House. It may be recalled that at the beginning of the year, Two-Face Idibia announced his break-up with Annie Macaulay in January 2025 and presented Natasha as new wife-to-be. Soon, Two-Face younger brother, Charles Idibia, came online and said his elder brother, Tubaba, has moved from frying pan to burning furnace, expressing deep displeasure over the choice of Honorable Natasha as a wife. Two-Face Idibia, in an Instagram story a few hours ago, made a simple post with a write-up, "Help me." He did not state what he wants people to help him with or give a clearer picture of whatever he needed help for. Many people in the society included suggested the needed help may not be unconnected with marital issues he's probably having with his new wife, Natasha. But in a video later today, he said, "This is getting out of hand. It's a very dangerous situation. I understand what fans can do, but I am perfectly okay. This is putting Natasha at risk. Please, I need everybody to calm down and cease we're gonna resolve all these issues. People they get issues for house Nobi today. Please friends, family, everybody cease fire. Please, I am perfectly fine. I didn't post that post." The Nigerian music icon, Two-Face Idibia addressed growing concerns after a troubling post circulated online suggesting he was in distress and calling for help. The Edo State House of Assembly on Tuesday summoned the wife and the lawmaker representing Igor constituency, Natasha Robosa, to explain what members describe as behavior capable of embarrassing the House after videos of the legislator, who is married to music star Innocent Tubaba, Idibia, kept spreading online. According to the Speaker, Blessing Agbebeku, the lawmaker must appear before the House Committee on Ethics and Privileges within 1 week to respond to the allegation of misconduct linked to her recent actions. Agbebeku said, "Honorable Natasha Robosa has been summoned to appear before the Ethics and Privilege Committee of the Assembly due to her recent conduct which has been trending online. This conduct drags the name of the House into the mud, and it is the responsibility of the members of the Assembly to conduct themselves well. This House has cerebral minds, educated people who had been dragged in the mud for too long by our colleague, Honorable Natasha. She has been trending on social media and television." Presidency under the command and control of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that if the ex-president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, wished to help in addressing apparent worsening security situations in the West Africa country, Obasanjo must first acknowledge the past failures that allowed terrorists to gain a foothold, and then support ongoing efforts, not undermine them. The presidency, through the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Communications, Sunday Dare, stated this few days ago in reactions to the statement of Obasanjo that Nigerians have rights to call on international community's intervention if the government can no longer protect them, stating that the terrorists also kill people of other religions should not be an excuse. This, Obasanjo said while he was speaking at a Christmas carol event in Jos, Plateau State, after President Donald Trump of the United States, U.S. had raised alarm of what the U.S. president described as Christians' genocide in Nigeria and threatened to send U.S. troops to Nigeria if the killing of Christians continued by the suspected Islamic terrorists. A presidential statement that has seen spike in the activities of kidnapping and killings in Nigeria, and thus creating more attention to the apparent unsafe nature of the country, which included the abduction of 25 schoolgirls from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, Kebbi, the kidnapping of 38 worshippers in Ereku, Kwara, and the mass abduction of over 300 students and teachers still in captivity at a Catholic school in Niger State, with daily wave of coordinated attacks across the northern and southern parts of the country, wherein the bandits, often suspected to be Fulani herdsmen, have abducted monarchs, worshippers, a bride, married couples, students and travelers, taking at least 600 people as captives within 14 days. And the rising unsafe nature of things could have made the Nigeria's defense minister, Alhaji Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, to tender resignation letter on Monday, while the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has since been appointed as the new defense minister, and the Senate has scheduled today, Wednesday, for his screening in line with the law and constitutional procedures of the Africa country. According to Obasanjo, no matter what religion you belong to, no matter where you come from, no matter what profession, we Nigerians are being killed. And our governments seem to be incapable of protecting us. We are part of the world community. If our government cannot do it, we have right to call on the international community to do for us what our government cannot do for us. And for anybody to say because those who are being killed belong to this region, belong to this religion, belong to this tribe, and then others too are being killed, cannot be an acceptable excuse. Before I left government, I know we had capacity to pick up anybody in Nigeria who commits crime anywhere. The capacity that we didn't have then is after we have identified and located such a criminal, we have no capacity to be able to pick him up without moving on land or by air. Now we have capacity with drones. You can take him up. Why are we not doing that? Why are we apologizing? Why are we negotiating? In a statement on Sunday, Dare warned that Obasanjo's comments risk distorting the security.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria has declared a state of emergency over growing insecurity in the West Africa country, and as such, banned open grazing, with a call on Herders Association to tell their members to surrender illegal weapons in their possession, and as well gave a matching order to the Department of State Services, DSS, to recruit more forest guards to chase away terrorists and bandits from all forests in Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also called on members of the National Assembly to review existing laws in Nigeria and give rooms for the establishment of state police. In his words, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while declaring the state of emergency on security matters on Wednesday, said, "Today, in view of the emerging security situation, I have decided to declare a nationwide security emergency and order additional recruitment into the armed forces. By this declaration, the police and the army are authorized to recruit more personnel. The police will recruit an additional 20,000 officers, bringing the total to 50,000. Although I had previously approved the nationwide upgrade of police training facilities, the police authorities are, by this statement, authorized to use various National Youth Service Corps camps as training depots. The officers being withdrawn from VIP guard duties should undergo crash training to debrief them and deliver more efficient police services when deployed to security-challenged areas of the country. The DSS also has my authority to immediately deploy all the forest guards already trained to flush out the terrorists and bandits lurking in our forests. The agency also has my directive to recruit more men to man the forests. There will be no more hiding places for agents of evil. My fellow Nigerians, this is a national emergency, and we are responding by deploying more boots on the ground, especially in security-challenged areas. The times require all hands on deck. As Nigerians, we should all get involved in securing our nation. Let me take this moment to commend our security agencies for working together to secure the release of the 24 schoolgirls in Kebbi and the 38 worshippers in Kwara State. We will continue to sustain the efforts to rescue the remaining students of Catholic school in Niger State and other Nigerians still being held hostage. To the leadership and rank and file of our armed forces, I commend your courage and your sacrifice. This is a challenging moment for our nation and for the military institution itself. I charge you to remain resolute, to restore peace across all theaters of operation, and to uphold the highest standards of discipline and integrity. There must be no compromise, no collusion, and no negligence. The Nigerian people are counting on you, and this administration will provide the support you need to succeed. In addition, our administration will support state governments which have set up security outfits to safeguard their people from the terrorists bent on disrupting our national peace. I call on the National Assembly to begin reviewing our laws to allow states that require state police to establish them. States should rethink establishing boarding schools in remote areas without adequate security. Mosques and churches should constantly seek police and other security protection. There are concerns that a renewed war may break out between Israel and Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon as Pope Leo XIV prepares to visit Turkey and Lebanon beginning this week, from the 27th of November to the 2nd of December 2025, which will be the first apostolic journey of the head of Catholic Church outside Italy of his pontificate. The possible renewed war may occur following Hezbollah stands to retaliate attacks Israel launched in the capital of Lebanon, Beirut on Sunday, killing Hezbollah chief of staff and second in command, Haytham Ali Tabatabai alongside 4 other persons, namely, Qasim Hussein Bajawi, Mustafa Assad Barrow, Rifat Ahmed Hussein, Ibrahim Ali Hussein, and funeral is being held in their honor in Beirut as at the time of filing in this report on Monday. Israel, while confirming the killings, said, Tabatabai is a mass murderer, his hands are soaked in the blood of many Israelis and Americans, and it is not for nothing that the US put a bounty of $5 million on his head, although previous popes had visited Lebanon in the past successfully, but the current pope, Pope Leo XIV, is the first US-born citizen to be pontiff or head of the Roman Catholic Church, and one of the Hezbollah official, Mahmoud Qumati, in a statement on Sunday as he stood near the bombed-out building in the Harid Rake suburb, said, Israel's strike crossed a red line, and Hezbollah's leadership would decide on whether and how the group would respond. The Hezbollah, while confirming Tabatabai's death, said, Tabatabai, the great jihadist commander, who had worked to confront Israeli enemy until the last moment of his blessed life, ascended as a martyr in sacrifice for Lebanon and its people following a treacherous Israeli attack on Harid Rake area in Beirut's southern suburb. Israel carried out the airstrike on the southern Beirut suburb for the first time since June, killing at least 5 people and wounding 28, according to Lebanon Health Ministry. Funeral proceedings for Haytham Ali Tabatabai, the Hezbollah commander, and others were held on Monday in Beirut's southern suburbs. Early photographs and videos from the scene showed Hezbollah members carrying Tabatabai's coffin, draped in yellow and green, and raising the group's yellow flags as they marched through the Lebanese capital. Hezbollah said the strike, launched almost exactly a year after a ceasefire ended the Israel-Hezbollah war, threatened an escalation of attacks, just days before Pope Leo XIV is scheduled to visit Lebanon on his first foreign trip outside Italy. In its statement, the IDF said Tabatabai commanded most of Hezbollah's units and worked hard to restore them to readiness for war with Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's office said earlier Sunday that the Hezbollah chief of staff was the target of the Israeli strike on southern Beirut. Office of the Prime Minister of Israel, in a statement on Sunday, said, a short while ago, in the heart of Beirut, the IDF attacked the Hezbollah chief of staff, who had been leading the terrorist organization's build-up and rearmament. Prime Minister Netanyahu ordered the attack upon the recommendation of the defense minister and the IDF chief of staff. Israel is determined to act to achieve its objectives everywhere and at all times. The Israeli Prime Minister, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, Nigeria Federal Capital Territory, on Thursday convicted and sentenced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to a passionate prison term of life imprisonment against the penalty of death sentence he said he ought to have pronounced on the Biafra Republic agitation leader over the statements Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made on October 20, 2020 through Radio Biafra during the warlike situation between the civilian population and Nigeria security operatives, following series of reports that the Nigeria security operatives were shooting and killing innocent unarmed protesters, who were protesting against bad government and police brutalities. Tagged Ends's protest, Justice Omotosho in his ruling, said, Nnamdi Kanu was responsible for the killing of 175 security operatives during the Ends's civil-military war-like situation on October 20, 2020, and Justice Omotosho in his ruling, failed to state the numbers of civilians that were killed by Nigeria security operatives during the war-like situation that apparently forced Nnamdi Kanu to start teaching the civilians on how to manufacture Molotov cocktail, also known as petrol bombs, urging them to go and meet welders to buy bulletproof doors from the welders to defend themselves, and launched a retaliatory defensive attacks against the Nigeria security operatives who were accused of turning the peaceful protest into a barrage of gunfire, human rights violations and abuses. Justice Omotosho convicted Nnamdi Kanu on counts 4 and 5 over the Ends's protest, and he described Nnamdi Kanu action during the violent protest as an act of terrorism. On count 1, Justice Omotosho convicted Nnamdi Kanu for an act of preparatory to commit terrorism over statements made by Nnamdi Kanu in May 2021. Justice Omotosho in the ruling claimed and ruled that Nnamdi Kanu declared war against security operatives in the southeast states without provocation. This statement by Justice Omotosho apparently made him look like a biased person, because after Justice Omotosho read the entire 7-count charge and convicted Nnamdi Kanu, Justice Natasha thereafter recognized a media news report and broadcast of Nnamdi Kanu on April 25, 2021, wherein Nnamdi Kanu vowed to avenge the killing of Obasanjo, the then head of Eastern Security Network, ESN, by a combined team of Nigeria security operatives led by the Nigerian Army under the command of former Chief of Army Staff, late Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, who was then the General Officer commanding GOC 82 Division. The Nigerian Army insisted in its report that Obasanjo was killed during exchange of gunfire with the security operatives, but Nnamdi Kanu rejected the claim and repeatedly stated that Obasanjo was killed in his sleep and the killing was a pure case of assassination by the federal government of Nigeria as a way to weaken the people of southeast states and deny them the ability to be able to establish the Eastern Security Network, ESN, to defend themselves against Boko Haram terrorists and expansionist foreign Fulani invaders from different countries like Mali, Gambia, Senegal, Nigerian Republic and Chad that were advancing from the northern part of Nigeria.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.